Good morning. How are you? It's Tuesday. And can you tell we're in August?
Yes. Can tell I'm in August because all I have to do is step outside and I begin to perspire greatly.
It's like that Geico commercial. It's like a sauna.
Sauna out there. Really, really is, though. It's August 18th. We are now 78 days away from the general election and closing in. Which way will America go, ladies and gentlemen? Which way, indeed, will America go?
Well,
we have another 4 years of Donald Trump, and I guess you could call it the status quo, but I think that the American way, or will we throw ourselves headlong into being a socialist state?
we're not going to be a socialist state, and there is no status quo. It's a toss-up at this point.
You're right about the status quo.
Yeah, there is no status quo anymore. There is no status quo. And you know what? If ever, let's just say, let's take us back to the post-World War II late 40s.
Yes.
When there was a lot of thought about how equality and equanimity and socialism was a wonderful economic model. We couldn't afford to do that now if we wanted to.
Nope.
We don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of at the moment. So you can't build any kind of socialist economy when you got no cheese.
That much is certain. I know that some people say, well, the Democrats they'll just find a way to tax it. Take it away, tax it. Well, you can't squeeze blood out of a rock.
Well, you know what? Again, all these people love saying that. It's like, the business is closed. They're not making any revenue.
Yeah.
How are you going to tax it, you moron? You see,
Yeah.
These people that love to pull the pin on the grenade and they hold it in their own hands for about 5 or 6 seconds. Context.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Louisiana looks coming out the backside of the governor's prolonged COVID-19 response.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
okay, I was hoping that we were going to get a quick resolution to this Firehouse Barbecue thing.
No.
Their hearing has been postponed.
Meanwhile, business as usual at Firehouse Barbecue.
Doesn't this sound a lot like the Reverend, where they just kept postponing things, hoping that we would all forget about it?
Yep. Firehouse Barbecue, in my opinion, they have the right to do whatever they wish. There's no onus to be a patron of Firehouse Barbecue. If you don't want to go there, don't go there. If you're uncomfortable with the idea that their staff are not wearing PPE when you go in there, don't go.
Well, but we
that
could have
simple.
said the same thing about that church up in Central.
I did say the same thing about the church in Central. I said I thought it was bad of him to put his parishioners in potential harm's way, but let the buyer beware. And the parishioner doesn't feel right about it, don't go.
Well, what I think the precedent on both of these cases is that you might as well write these edicts on toilet paper and then bring the whole roll to the diarrhea ward, because if you're not going to enforce it, why bother? Why are we going through all of this if you're not going to enforce? And by the way, I believe that if you are given a legal order, even if you don't agree with it, you follow it. It's much like the same advice we give people who are stopped for driving while black, and we say, look, yeah,
Comply.
it may not be right, but comply and work it out later in court.
Comply.
And I mean, so if you're
There's a bit of difference between drunk driving and operating your business as you normally would.
But what I'm saying is, if you are given a legal order that 99% of the businesses in your industry are following,
Even if it's based on scientific bullshit.
but that doesn't matter, and that is not readily apparent either.
It is.
That's a matter of opinion.
Changes every day, Bill.
That's what science does sometimes. But the fact is, if there is an order in place and it is being followed by everybody else, you have an obligation to follow it. Now, the problem with that is, going back to the Reverend, whatever his name is.
Tony Spell.
Yeah. If you're not going to enforce these, please don't write anymore. Please. It gives me what the old Italians would call the agina.
Well,
it gives me heartburn.
There was early on when Firehouse decided they were not going to obey. And that's civil disobedience is tried and true method of protesting your government's actions.
But that's not civil disobedience. That is failing to comply with a legal order. They are a regulated business.
You're right about that.
So you can't let all the emotion get involved in this or the opinion. It is a simple matter. You are given this piece of paper. It says, this is what you and everybody else in your type of business must do. When you say no, then there's going to be a consequence. Only this time there isn't. Mm-hmm. Same with Reverend Spell. So please, don't write any more of these, because all you're doing is creating more anxiety and more confusion by not enforcing your own damn orders. Oh, and by the way, I've noticed the little kick the can down the road. You signed the order, Gov, but you want LDH to enforce it, or you want the fire marshal to enforce it, or you want the Livingston Parish, sheriff's office to enforce it.
You go enforce it.
Come on. Put on the big boy pants, go over there, kick some ass, and take some names, or stop writing them.
I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Stop writing them.
All right, quick break, our first of the hour here. And coming up this hour, by the way, we're going to talk, speaking of enforcement, Baton Rouge has had a problem, and other communities as well, with large impromptu gatherings. Why there's no social distancing, fewer wearing masks. What is it going to do? Is it going to spread COVID?
Well, they also have a neat enforcement program that they're doing. But also, you know what? Even though every school's not back in session, there are some that are still, and I see you speeding through school zones. Please, we're going to remind you to be careful.
Yeah, don't want to.
Please.
Don't want to have something happen you will really, really regret later.
Yeah.
All right, quick break. Exiles TV returns in a moment.
Taste the feeling. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello, welcome back. It's Exiles TV. And by the way, to our local Coca-Cola distributor, I'd just like to say,
Show me the money.
call me.
That could be a little blue and red sphere by this time Thursday. I'm not threatening here. I'm just saying. Hey, this is interesting.
Yeah, what?
We're supposed to all get some sort of an insurance discount because we were
not
driving less.
to work, right?
And we joked about how we're still waiting to see ours.
Yep.
And this is very interesting. Both Progressive and Farm Bureau have actually filed a decrease with the State Department of Insurance. Progressive has submitted a rate decrease of 2.3% for new policies effective August 21st, and for renewed policies in September.
Okay.
Farm Bureau will cut rates. This is a big cut. 7.5% on both new policies and renewals on October 1st.
Maybe time for me to shop some new insurance.
I think we need to call our buddy Avery and say, hook us up. But
That's Farm Bureau, not farmers, right? Just want
yeah, Farm Bureau.
clarify.
Yeah. They also did a decrease in October of last year of 4.4%. So, if you're still waiting for the Green Gecko or the Good Hands people or Jake, who you talked to in the middle of the night,
Jake
I've
from
never,
State Farm.
I've never understood that. Why is this guy who looks more like Vince Vaughn than Vince Vaughn standing in his living room
In his
at
PJs.
3 a.m. talking
you.
to State Farm? Why is he doing that?
It's always been a mystery to me about that whole commercial.
If I was his wife, I'd be suspicious too.
Yeah, exactly. Who's he talking to on the phone down there? At
It's
3
Jake from
o'clock.
State
At
Farm.
3 o'clock in the morning. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Hey,
You notice what part of that commercial has been taken away forever?
What's that?
Well, she's a guy, so. Now people are like, now, don't assign gender.
A lot of commercials just don't make a lot of sense. But that one is like, is there anybody now
Well,
correct?
they were trying to illustrate that even if you do call at 3 a.m., somebody will answer the
No,
phone.
they won't.
Well, okay. If I call Allstate at 3 in the morning, somebody will answer the phone. Now, if I call my agent at 3 in the morning, forget about it. But if I call Allstate, the claim center, somebody will answer the
Well,
phone.
claim center, but Jake is giving him a quote.
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen at 3 a.m.
If they say it, if they have that in their commercial, they
Well,
can't advertise
Well,
something
they don't really
do.
say that. It's meant to be theater.
No, they said in the original commercial you could call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
To get a quote.
to get a quote.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine being the schlub who has to work? That's why the original Jake from State Farm was like, Keith.
I do want to give you.
Because they wanted to make Jake a thing, so they replaced it with a nice, refreshing, appealing young black dude who girls want to go out with instead of Keith.
Yeah, I do want to give you a good story about a call. Most of us, you can call your credit card company 24 hours a day.
Sure.
And a lot of us make our credit card payments online. And there's a credit card company that I happen to use, based in South Dakota, like a great many of them. And I have both a Visa and a MasterCard with this credit card company.
Okay.
And everything is due, my payments are normally due on the 14th of the month. So I would go online, and the online service kept booting me out. Boom, boom, boom. So I called them yesterday because they sent me a text reminder. And I called them, and first of all, I got a real person in 25 seconds. I got a real person that wasn't in Manila, that was actually in South Dakota. And I said, look, I don't want to have a problem and get late fees and all that type of thing. Mr. B.R.P.D, our website has been a mess. We don't know why, but the last 6 or 7 days, it has been a mess. Do you want us to use the checking account you have on file to make a payment? Yes. We will not charge you to do that. We are also going to make sure that the system does not put any late fees on your account. And we want you to check your account on September 1st online, and if you see any kind of a fee, you call, and we will make sure it's taken care of. It was great customer service. It was all over with in 3 minutes, maybe 4, with a real person in the United States of America. They have had enough people call them and saying, I'm not having trouble getting through to your website. And they made it all. And like a lot of companies, if you just pay on the website, there's no charge, and they credit your payment
Right.
on the day you say to credit it. But if you do it on the phone, because a person has to deal with you, they charge a fee. Some charge $5, some charge $10. And they were like, no fee, we got you covered, thank you for being a customer, have a nice day.
Wow.
That was really good service.
Wow. And I think a lot of people would say, no, you making that up, Bill.
But I'm not going to give the name because I don't want to do a commercial for them, but there are only 2 credit card issuers that have their main offices in South Dakota. And
Come on,
this,
give me one. Give me something that rhymes.
And this is the one that all their credit cards, their Visa, their MasterCards start with first, okay? Remember, the password is first. Nice people, though. I heartily recommend them.
All right, guest time. After the commercial break, we're going to talk Baton Rouge City Police. What kind of problems are they undergoing? Of course, we got upticks in crime. We got people gathering when they shouldn't be gathering. All sorts of things to talk about. And we will be back with more Exiles TV in just a moment. Stay here.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location, 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
And we're back. It's Exiles TV. Bill Perfito over there.
Howdy.
I'm Kevin Gallagher, and this, Sergeant L. Gene McKneely with the Baton Rouge Police Department, their Public Information Officer.
Lots been going on.
Yes.
And we wanted to get caught up with a couple of things. It when we first started having these large street parties, and people were worried, I remember a candidate for mayor, State Representative Marcel, was here with us, and she said she went down and tried to reason with them and say, you're interfering with this person's business, it's dangerous, you all need to go home before things get serious. And right after that, B.R.P.D. came up with a plan to deal with these. And it looks like they've been dealt with without anybody getting a bloody nose or tossed to the ground. Tell me about the plan and how it works.
Well, let's say 2 weeks prior to a 8-person shooting, we had officers out there in the Plank Road Evangeline area and the River Road area in front of the River Center, and on Sherwood Forest there's a vape shop on Sherwood Forest, and our officers were out there patrolling the area because we had got word that there were large groups of young folk hanging out, and they were blocking the roadway. So we went out there with the intention of informing, saying that we understand that you might want to hang out and a lot of the clubs are closed, but this isn't appropriate. You're blocking traffic, you're disturbing neighbors and citizens in the area.
And this is always late at night, right?
Always late at night on the weekend, Friday and Saturday. And we saw that the crowd started to disperse, and we weren't having such a major issue after we had those conversations. And then right after that, they went on social media, decided to have a big function out there planking Evangeline, and that's where we had 8 people shot, and one of those 8 were killed during the shooting.
100 rounds or more of ammunition were fired.
I think it was 178 rounds.
Oh, Lord.
Well, let's say shell casings that we found.
Yeah.
So you don't know if those were necessarily shot at people. Maybe it was a little less action, or.
Well, hey, I mean, being fired is bad enough. So.
Well, and again, as he said, the ones he found, some people probably policed their brass.
And it's hard to say. So, and then part of that was on social media, and so we had actual video of the shots that were being fired.
Yeah, it sounded like a New Year's Eve celebration.
Yeah. So Chief Murphy Paul decided to take additional action. We had 30-plus officers on Friday and Saturday nights patrolling those areas. Now, our patrol wasn't an enforcement patrol unless we saw criminal activity. Now, if we saw some type of criminal activity, then we were inclined to enforce the law. But outside of that, we were out there just conversing with individuals, telling them, that the governor and the mayor has set rules. They're in place. And we expect you to be responsible while you're out here. And the acts of violence have caused us to take action and be here.
I saw an interview with, I guess, the guy who was kind of managing the task force. And this guy was more like a librarian than a cop. He was so leveled out, and I'm thinking, that's probably a pretty good idea.
Yes. Well, he had gathered all the information that we needed. He knew all the some of the players that were in place. He knew the actions that they were having and the areas that and where people were going. And we were using the social media to follow him. So, Chris Polito is his name. He had all the information that he needed, and he was able to share that with the local media.
Now, is there any evidence at these gatherings that there is any criminal behavior going on? Or?
Well, we've had made arrests. We've towed cars. We've confiscated guns. We've arrested individuals who had traffic warrants. And luckily, the constable's office have been working with us. And when we ran across individuals who had traffic warrants, we were able to take them to the city jail so that they can deal with
clear their warrants.
Yes, their issues. So we've worked together with other agencies in an effort to put the idea out there that this isn't acceptable. We understand that you want to be out. We definitely don't have a problem with that. But when you're out there drag racing, you're out there fighting, you're out there shooting guns, selling drugs, that's not acceptable and won't be tolerated.
LG, was this something that before the COVID shutdown, was this something that was going on anyway, or is this because of?
No, we didn't have that before COVID.
They had bars.
We had bars. and initially when we shut everything down, we didn't have it. But when we started slowly to opened things up, people started hanging out, which we didn't have a problem with, as long as you were being responsible. But when all those other factors came into play, we had to take some type of action.
It seems to me that what you all have put together here is you've got a frontline force that when you see a crowd start to gather, will go in and try to talk to them in a reasonable and respectful way, but you've also got a stand back force that can come in very quickly, and if they need to separate people, make arrests, that they're right there.
Yes, that's right. That's the idea, and that's what we've done. So we would call for the other guys that are spread out in the Plank Road or the River Road or the Sherwood area, and say, hey, there's a large crowd over here on River Road in front of the River Center. We need additional enforcement. So the guys from those areas will come and assist, and we clear the area out.
Have we had many more of these in the last week, or are they kind of diminishing a bit?
Well, let's say they've been more responsible. We've had groups that are still out there. They tend to be smaller groups, but because they know that we're there, just our presence itself brings an element of calmness. Mm-hmm. And the players who don't want to do right tend not to come because they know that we're going to be there. And we've made arrests with individuals who have had guns, who have led us on pursuits, and when they know that we're there and other folks are seeing that we're there and then we're taking action, that tends to have the negative players not want to show.
I'm reminded of the incident that happened last week at Chili's over on Constitution near College Drive, where the young lady working as a hostess was assaulted by a group of women because she told them no. That's what I like to call a hair trigger incident. Are we seeing an increase in these hair trigger incidents where people are just blowing up at each other?
Well, that was one. I've heard of at least one or two others in which officers have been dispatched to. Mind you, the manager did what he was supposed to do in an attempt to protect the young lady, and then luckily there were people there that gave us the information that we needed that led us to those responsible parties to where we could make an arrest.
Let me talk a little bit about guns. I think we know that there is a guns in the street problem in the hands of people that shouldn't have them. But because Louisiana is an open carry state, is there a problem if you see a large group of people and you see a guy that's got a gun on his hip? Is he still allowed to carry, or do you need to go and say, is that your weapon? Are you a felon? I mean, what kind of position does that put an officer in? Because I'm sure there are people that get together in these things that are going to say, well, it's my gun, I'm allowed to carry it, I'm going to carry it. It calls for the officers to walk on the edge of a razor, I would think. But maybe I'm wrong. You tell me.
Well, it's just an awareness for us because we know Louisiana is an open carry state. It puts us on alert. Now, you're well within your means and the law to carry the gun, but we want you to be responsible. Now, if we see that you're not being responsible and you have an open carry, then we're deemed to take some type of action because you're putting others, not only yourself, but you're putting others that are around you in harm. So we just ask that you be a responsible gun owner, a gun open carry individual, and do what you're supposed to do. Definitely don't have a problem with it. We understand it. We believe in it, because that is the law. But at the same time, there's a sense of responsibility that goes with it.
What kind of probable cause do you need to have when you're in a large crowd to say, okay, I see a gun and it's under somebody's shirt? Can you stop them immediately and find out, or do you need something else before you can act?
Well, we can take action by inquiring because we know that through past behavior, individuals will carry a gun concealed and they do not have their concealed permit. So if someone has brought that to our attention that that individual has a gun, then we by all means can go and ask, hey, we know that you have a gun. Out here has caused some concern. Individuals out here have the concern and they're fearful because you do have a gun. we have no problem with it, but do you have your concealed carry permit?
And if they don't, then the gun is confiscated.
Then the gun is confiscated. And individuals who have their concealed carry permit, they're going to have the actual license.
Yeah, they're gonna
and they're not going to have a problem, with your checking, because they understand that it's been brought to our attention. I mean, that's the only reason I'm here, and there are other individuals that are here that are expressing concern for their safety. So because they have a sense of fear, then we can go and just do a check.
This used to be, the capital city used to be a city that was known for its large gatherings. We had them, good Lord, twice a year, every Friday night after work, we'd all gather, 5,000 of us gather for Live After 5.
Fest for All, 4th of July.
Yeah. We're a city that likes to get together. In your mind, has there been an effect on the city from not being able to get together and enjoy each other's company?
Well, people have the awareness of wearing the mask, and those who don't want to wear the mask, we just ask that you just take in heed of that person and how they feel. You don't know their background. They might have had COVID. They might have had someone who have died in their family that's close to them. So that's why they have the thought of wanting to have the mask. So it's an overall awareness of health. People are health conscious. People are now taking a lot of vitamins, I know. People are wearing the mask, washing their hands, are doing a lot of those things. So just give that person the respect that if that's what they want to do, allow them to be able to do it. So overall, people are more, I would say, aware and more cautious. So there are some individuals that will go to possibly those events. If they do and they're more cautious of their health, they may stay away from the actual crowd. Other individuals, don't have a problem and they aren't fearful of the COVID itself. But from my experience, I've seen the ones who aren't fearful of it really haven't had any contact or know anyone personally, just that they're really close to, that has been affected.
Before we take a break, again, that first one that you are all out, 179 shell casings on the ground. There were some arrests made. When you arrest somebody, is it a simple disturbing the peace or remaining where forbidden? What is the arrest for?
Oh, it just all depends on the actions that have occurred that enabled us to effect the arrest. So if they're out there being unruly, then that could be a disturbance call. If we see that they're trying to fight or they're engaged in some type of altercation,
disturbing the peace.
Then disturbing the peace.
But see, what I'm trying to get home to these folks is once you have them,
yes,
everything that is outstanding on them can be piled on. Like you said, the constables have got the traffic warrants.
Yes.
If they've got a failure to appear for something in district court, now it all comes up. They could end up spending a lot of time waiting for a judge to set their bail.
Yes. And if they have all those other things or factors that they're dealing with, then we're going to take action by taking you to the constable in the city jail. We're going to take action and placing you in parish prison so you can deal with whatever you have been dealing with and that you have neglected to deal with.
Got some more questions for B.R.P.D. And if you have a question, you can call us at 225-831-1029. Our guest is Sergeant L. Gene McKneely, the man we call Gino, and we'll be back with Exiles TV in a moment.
That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show is back, along with the Exiles, B.R.P.D and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000. The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back. Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours. Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Hey, welcome back, Exiles TV. We're having a conversation about policing in the capital city with Sergeant Elgene McKneely. He's the PIO, that is the Public Information Officer for B.R.P.D. I wanted to ask you about one incident, and I really kind of felt for you all. We had an incident happen that was outside the city limits, and it shocked people because it's in one of the nice parts of town. Mm-hmm. You may recall hearing about it, but it was some guys decided to slap leather at each other right up here on Coursey Boulevard near Hickory Ridge, which is a commercial area adjacent to a residential area, and we just don't normally see that kind of behavior here. And I did as much as I could when people started criticizing the chief. I said, you realize that that's outside of the chief's jurisdiction. And it is. That part of Coursey Boulevard is outside of city limits, and it's up to the sheriff's office. And I'm sure the sheriff's office got there as quick as they could and sorted things out as quick as they could. But it seems like your boss is coming under fire for anything and everything these days. Care to comment?
Well, I mean, it's part of the job, and when they look at you being law enforcement, and they look at anything that's inside the city, outside the city, most folks don't understand that. They just look at it all being Baton Rouge, and they hold us all accountable. So it's more of the sign of the time. They look at the officer with us with body cams holding us accountable. So any small thing that happens, they're gonna look at the law enforcement, because we consider ourselves the low-hanging fruit.
Oh yeah.
And we're very visible. So because we are visible, people like to point the finger a lot, not knowing the exact details. So what we ask is that everyone get the details to everything that happens before you start pointing the finger, because we are going to be held accountable. We hold ourselves accountable. We've done things and put certain systems in place to let everyone know that we're going to be accountable for our actions with the body cams, with the audio that's available, with the in-car camera, with the peer evaluation and the peer participation, in which we ask officers to get involved if you know another officer is having an issue, or if you see them doing something that they shouldn't do. So there are checks and balances in place. So even though we know that the climate has come to where everyone is pointing the finger, all we ask is that you get the facts.
Let's talk a little bit about, I'm usually amazed when people talk about prevention. I don't know of a jurisdiction in the world where a chief or a sheriff or the superintendent of state police or the special agent in charge of the FBI can actually prevent a person-on-person crime.
Right.
Now, you do a lot of drug interdiction, you do a lot of infiltration to try to prevent large amounts of drugs coming in.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an area that gets a lot of accidents, you will sit a car there where everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, they're preventing people from speeding and having accidents because they're there.
Yes.
But in terms of two people that are angry at each other and decide that they want to draw down or take up 2x4s, unless the cop just happens to be right there, how in the world can people expect you all to prevent things?
Well, that's been a question to ask, you know, and discuss. And we're not going to have an officer on every corner. So what we do is react to those type of actions. We take action in an attempt to stop individuals from hurting themselves when we know that it's happening. But just as you said, if we don't know it's happening, it's nothing we can really do. So that's why we ask that everyone get the information first, be responsible, and don't point the finger, and give us a chance. Give us a chance to voice our opinion. Give us a chance to share the information, because we are going to share the information. I promise you that.
So the truth of it is, if you want to see a reduction in crime, it's not up to you, the police. It's up to us, the policed,
to take action.
To take action.
Well, we look at it in a holistic way and manners to say it's bigger than police, even though we play a part. It's the community to be involved, be responsible, take action, and if they feel that their action is going to harm them, get as much information as you can and allow us to take action.
Well, and again, this is a true story. I think it was right after we had Chief Paul on, about a month and a half or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came up to me, and she said, you had the chief on and all that, and I got stopped by an officer, and he was so rude, and I felt like he was trying to intimidate me. It really frightened me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, okay, city, sheriff, or state?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know. What color was the car?
Mm-hmm.
It was white.
Oh.
What kind of markings? Did it have a map on the side? Did it say sheriff? Did it say police in big blue letters? I don't remember. Tell me about the officer. Male or female? Male. Got that. Okay. What color uniform? Was it blue? Was it green? I don't remember.
Wow.
They have a nameplate. I said,
wow.
What was the officer's name?
Yeah.
He said, I didn't get it. I was like, how do you expect anybody to help you if you don't help them to help you?
Yes.
Just two of those pieces of information.
Yes.
They have GPS on all their vehicles.
Yes.
If you say 1115 at the corner of Burbank and Lee, all right, first of all, they all have jurisdiction there, but it's probably going to be state police.
That's right.
And if you say, yes, it was Louisiana State Police, they will know who made a stop at that time.
Yes.
You got to help us help you.
Yes, yes. And like I said, we hold ourselves accountable.
Well, I mean, every time you turn on the overheads, camera goes on.
That's right.
And your GPS is reporting where your car is all the time.
All the time.
When you get out, you tap that body cam and it goes on.
Yes, Yes.
So if you're dumb enough to be rude to somebody at that point,
yes.
there's a permanent record, and they can actually call
Yes.
the
yes.
you don't call your internal affairs public integrity. You can call public integrity.
Yes, which is our internal affairs,
Yeah.
and they launch an investigation. Now, when they cut the light on, automatically the cameras, body cam and the in-car camera comes on.
Oh, the body cam goes too.
Yes. If we're standing around other officers and my body cam is in standby mode and yours is on, mine cuts on.
I had no idea.
Yes.
That's a brilliant system.
Yes.
That's pretty
Now,
good
what
security.
about your counterparts in the sheriff's office? Are they have all the same? Are they equipped with body cams?
No, not yet, but I believe that's something that they're looking into. They are gathering the resources to be able to provide that type of equipment for their officers. I mean, for their deputies. It's an expensive tool to have now, because you're just not thinking about body cams. You got to think of the storage space that
Right.
you're going to have to download all that information. You're going to have personnel manage the cameras. You're going to have the personnel work on the cameras and swap them out. You got to have, whenever you get the body cameras, you got to have personnel that's
You need
able
a
to.
whole IT department.
A whole IT. We have a group of 3 individuals, 2 ladies that work in there, and they're downloading and redacting thousands of hours of video that are made for the requests. Because now that you have the body cam, you got the lawyers and the public information requests that come through for people wanting the video for their cases. So now that has to be redacted.
Well,
I mean,
it's high quality stuff, which means these are
Yes.
big files.
Yes. So it's very involved, but people don't think of that side of it. So it's a lot of extra that comes with it.
People think of it as magic. It's like that
Yes.
just. And I saw somebody commented on a recent incident, and they said, "I'm amazed nobody's got any video of that."
Yeah. Oh no, isn't that something? Because
it's like
videos everywhere.
Yeah,
now.
but
That's
you
what
know,
they think.
See it. Look, right there it is. Now, if something were to start happening, would I have the presence of mind? And I'm a former journalist, but I'm telling you, I'm not that guy that would be standing there watching it happen.
No. Because you would be calling 911.
If somebody were getting their butt beat by 3 or 4 guys, I'd be the one going, get off of them. I wouldn't be standing there taping it. I've often wondered about that. It's like, I saw a horrible video of a man beating a woman and actually smacked her child too. This was in City Park in New York City, and Central Park, New York City, and at 3 different camera angles from cell phones. It's like, that's 3 people that could have said,
Get off, stop
beating that woman.
Yeah, no.
But you know what's funny, and I don't know if this is human nature or if it's something different. But because people know we do programs with the police all the time. We have State on with us. We have Hiller. We have City on.
And we appreciate that too.
We
just to let
appreciate
y'all
you
know
being
that.
available.
Yeah.
But whenever somebody has a complaint, it's never, here's the name, here's the unit. When somebody has a compliment, and I'm getting more compliments about officers, they know the officer's name, they know the department, and I think that's a good thing. That they say, hey, Bill, I didn't realize all my brake lights weren't working. And Officer Smith with B.R.P.D. pulled me over and said, ma'am, did you realize that none of your 3 brake lights are working? Oh, God, no. He said, you know how dangerous that is? Yeah. He says, get it taken care of, okay? And she said he was so nice, and I appreciate it. You don't know when your brake lights aren't working.
No.
You know?
How would you know that?
But when I get a compliment, at least I get a name and a department. When I get a complaint, it's always, I don't know. I don't know.
See, the one time I had a beef with a sheriff's deputy, I made note of his name. And I just made my phone call and said, look, the guy just pulled me over. He had me dead to rights on an expired inspection sticker, but he also could plainly see that I was wearing my seatbelt. He motioned me into a parking lot, and he saw me take my seatbelt off as I was reaching to get my wallet and my proof of insurance and stuff, and yet he wrote me up for the seatbelt violation. He saw me take it off. And trust me, I had that guy's name.
We will be back. I want to talk a little bit. Yes, we do still have some school zones in effect. While we've got Sergeant McKneely with us, we're going to talk about that. Coming back to you in a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I'm Bill B.R.P.D. He is Kevin Gallagher.
That's the rumor.
Sergeant L. Gene McKneely, our buddy Gino, is joining us now from B.R.P.D. And before we let him go, it's been crazy about schools, who's having school, who isn't, who's learning virtually. But we have schools that are in session, and that means we've got school zones. Are you all having a problem with people not knowing the school zones are on and buzzing through?
Well, as far as I know, we hadn't got many complaints as far as people passing through school zones at a high rate of speed. But if you are indeed having a problem, please give us a call so we can address the issue. We know, like you said earlier, they got the virtual going. A lot of kids are at home, but there are some kids that are going to school. So people may be somewhat confused. If you see the flashing light, just adhere to the flashing lights and slow down, whether there is school in place or not. So you won't have to guess. You can just slow down, go the 25 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour, whatever set there in that immediate area. So that you won't have a problem.
Now, I'm sorry, some don't have the flashing lights yet. Most do. So if they don't have the flashing lights, it's 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And 2 until 4.
And 2 until 4.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the cell phone use in school zones. I think some people are confused. I think that they think that this is illegal, but hands-free or patched through the Bluetooth in my car is okay. What is the fact?
That's okay.
Okay, if I'm using my Bluetooth, I can be
Yes.
having a cell phone conversation
Yes.
while I'm in the school zone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. The problem is the people being distracted by having the phone to
to
their
their
ear.
ear.
But that's why they have the hands-free. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
So you can use the hands-free because we know that both hands can be on the steering wheel. You can have your head, is what I call, on the swivel, looking from left to right if you see anybody. So you're not being distracted while you're driving because you're looking straight ahead.
I do see people all the time, and again, where I live, it's usually a sheriff's office issue, but I drive through 2 school zones on my way home most days, and I do see people that are flouting the minimum speed, or the maximum speed, rather. And I know they probably think, well, there's nothing going on here. I don't see any kids. But isn't that what they always say when they hit the kid? Is I never even saw him coming.
Yes.
Well, I've seen, I have to go through the zone for Liberty Magnet School on Lee Drive. And that's
good use of the new name.
That's a very long school zone. And one of the few hills in Baton Rouge leads up to that school.
You've got a crest.
You can't see the sign right away. And what I see is parents that are bringing their kids there that are running late, and they're the ones hot-footing it through that school zone. And then they crank a Dale Earnhardt left turn into the parking lot.
Yes, indeed.
And yet the way out of that parking lot, by the way, because I've got niece and nephew that I picked up at school on a few occasions, is you got to cut through a neighborhood to get out of the parking lot when they're doing their drop-off or pickup. And again, you got people's houses, people's pets. You got to be patient. You got to slow it down.
Well, before we let you go, and if you don't know at this point, that's a valid answer, but in the fall, you usually have some really nice community events.
Yes.
You usually do a school supplies giveaway for kids. You usually do a meet the department. You got all your cool toys out there, like your Bearcat and your helicopter, and you also do a Halloween thing. Do you think any of these are going to happen, or what are we looking at?
No, not this fall. Well, we apologize, but due to COVID, we're going to follow the rule, and we're going to do our best to try to prevent the spread, or at least slow the spread of COVID.
Have they told you all anything yet about a traffic plan for LSU home games? Even though there's probably going to be diminished seating, there's probably going to be the same amount tailgating. Have they talked to you all about that yet?
Our traffic division have put word out. They were kind of waiting on LSU to see what they're going to do. So we haven't gotten all the instruction on how, when, and where, or how it's going to be handled. So I know we're going to put all our heads together and try to make it as safe as possible due to COVID. But that's something that our guys are aware of, and they have had some conversation.
So much that's still up in the air.
Yes, so much.
How quickly? Let's say we not only flatten the curve, we basically take it down to like 1% in the middle of September. Does that give you enough reaction time to maybe put the Halloween event back on, or you prefer not to do that? What is the thinking?
Probably, most likely, prefer not to do it. Because that takes a lot of planning, and for us to just throw it together wouldn't be right. We want to make sure that it is right.
I'm just looking forward to Coppola in costume again.
Yes. The Italian stallion.
Yes, indeed. He made a hell of a big Dracula.
Yes.
Well, Sergeant L. Gene McKneely, as always, we appreciate you coming, and we appreciate the men and women of the department with everything they do, even the things that we don't see and don't know about it. And we will, I'm sure, invite you back as we get a little further down the road, as more schools either reopen or start to close up, and it changes the paradigm as how people are moving around the city. And very interesting with what you all are doing with the large gatherings, but we appreciate you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
No, thank you for having us. We're more than happy to come back.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
Coming up,
standing invite.
Yeah,
Yes.
coming up to the top of the hour. Hour number 2 is on the way, so we hope that you will stay with us. A reminder, a replay, 10 o'clock tonight on this very channel. If you've had to break away or you have somebody that can't watch at 10 a.m., well, maybe they'd like to watch at 10 p.m.
And on demand on YouTube/Pelican Broadcasting. Okay, we'll be back after this. It's Exiles TV.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Perfida, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Back to Exiles TV, round two.
Round two. I guess I should get right to the bad news. We had a guest booked for this hour, but they had to cancel on us at the last minute because, as always, when you're booking guests that are officials, especially state officials, golly gee, sometimes they're duty calls, and they just can't be here with us goofing off for a half hour. So
yeah, State Fire Marshal Butch Browning was scheduled to be with us in this hour, but he has been called away officially. And Butch is such a nice guy. He will always text and say, "Okay, we're still on for this time. I'll be there." And I got a call, and he said, "I can't do it. I got called into this. I won't even be available, for 2 hours before or after." So we understand.
And we offer a do-over, Butch, whenever your schedule will allow. We are invited to come back. What we were going to talk to him about was the part of his job that is enforcing some of these closures that the governor has ordered because people aren't obeying the letter of the law of his health emergency. The one who is raising the most attention right now is the Firehouse Barbecue. Is it actually in Denham Springs or Watson? Can anybody help me out?
It's in
Livingston Parish. And the proprietress is a lady by the name of Danielle Bunch. And her personal feeling is that if you are coming to her place and you know that her staff is not going to be wearing PPE, in other words, a mask, that it's your decision. If you want to go there and dine with people serving you not wearing a mask, you can make that informed risk decision and go there and dine.
Now, here's something interesting. I was looking into this to kind of be prepared for Butch. You remember what I said earlier with kicking the can down the road and all that at the top of the show? So Butch or the fire marshal's office don't have to be involved in this one because they are doing the spacing that is required by law.
They're just not wearing the PPE.
Right. LDH, which issues the permits to operate a restaurant based on sanitation and health, are the enforcement agency on this one.
In this particular case now, it's in the courts, and the latest from the courts is that the state may take no further action at this time,
right,
pending a court hearing which has been delayed. So they're allowed to remain open, at least for now.
Well, and again, I looked into the nuances of this as well, because take COVID aside, we don't have COVID. Well, we got a restaurant that is operating outside the health code. Okay? LDH can go and send a sanitarian, they're called.
A health inspector.
Yes. And say, okay, you need to close this afternoon and do all of this remediation, and then we'll come back tomorrow. If they don't do that, they can actually say, Mr. Gallagher, your key.
Yeah, your license is suspended.
And they can lock your doors and take the keys.
Or put a padlock on your doors.
Yeah, now here's what's interesting, okay? Again, the CS way they're doing this is they could have done that, and then the restaurant would have had to file a motion in court for a hearing. But instead, they served them with a cease and desist, which the restaurant's attorney called and said, we'd like that suspended. A TRO is what it is, basically. We would like that suspended until we have our day in court. So, because they don't want to really enforce, what they're doing is they're letting these people run out the clock, much like Reverend Spell did. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because they could have made it absolute and put the onus on them to get reopened.
But they also would have looked like a major a-hole for doing it.
Well,
We're talking about a small business just trying to get by, just trying to keep their employees working so they can get by. And, does the big bad governor want to come in over something like masks?
Well, but here's the whole deal.
And destroy this business.
We go back to the central question. Is LP, Livingston Parish, supposed to be very law and order? You follow the law, you follow the rules. I don't think you look like a big a-hole if they don't follow the rules and you penalize them for it. Again, all this emotion has nothing to do with the fact. Either the governor wants to enforce his orders immediately and swiftly, or he doesn't, which is why I said an hour ago, for those of you who are just joining us, please, if you're going to write any more of these orders, do it on toilet paper and send the roll over to the diarrhea ward over at Our Lady of the Lake or Baton Rouge General.
Because then at least it'll be worth something.
Yeah. I don't like people in authority who have authority to do things, writing directives and orders, and then blatantly running away from them the minute it needs to be enforced.
You understand why Ms. Bunch and her business are saying screw this and not obeying the orders.
But it's not up to me to understand that.
But you do understand why they're doing it.
Well, I understand they started with a false premise, that they have employees with health problems that can't wear masks, and there is no such thing. That is a fact, unless it's a mental health problem.
What's the longest you've had one of those masks on your face since this thing started?
15 hours. I've done it in the past. Yeah, I've done it in the past.
No, what's the longest you've had one of those masks on your face at your age since this thing started?
3.5, 4 hours.
Really? Mm-hmm. Under what context?
Under being out.
Because I can tell you the longest I've had a mask on my face has been as long as it took to buy groceries and get the hell out of the store. I got the stink eye yesterday crossing the parking lot because I took the mask off. And it's like, lady, I'm 20 feet from anybody and I'm outside.
Well, again, I don't know who all these people are where you shop that tend to provoke you constantly.
Got a lot of Karens.
The fact of the matter is, she started with all this BS about, breathing your own CO2 and all that. Every surgeon, every anesthesiologist, every burn specialist, every nurse in this country would be dead if that were the case, if there were any fact to that at all. So she started with a bad premise, okay? Then she goes and gets Jeff Landry and quotes him.
You realize if you tear her up too bad right now, she's never going to come on the show.
No, you shouldn't come on the show. But the fact of the matter is, none of that matters. None of that matters. You are given an order that has been deemed to be legal over and over and over again, and you choose not to follow it. Therefore, it follows naturally that there will be enforcement action. Now, here's the problem I have. You didn't enforce it with Reverend what's-his-name. So, in my opinion...
Not even asking the gambling casinos to enforce it.
In my opinion, write it on toilet paper, send it to the hospital.
See, that's my feeling on it. The whole thing's full of Swiss cheese if the rules aren't the same for everyone.
But again, the rules are different for different businesses. That's okay. That's enumerated. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't want to enforce it there, and then you see us around the way you're going to enforce it, and you try to finesse it, all you do is take these folks who have a lot of people that don't have their best interest in heart pushing them to put their middle finger in the air, and you're going to have a confrontation, then you're not going to handle that properly. So what I am saying is, you know what? Let's just forget the whole thing and not do any more because we don't have the courage of our convictions. I'm saying that to the governor. Now, to this lady or anybody else says, you walk around, be back to blue and follow the rules and law and order and, swing your flag, then either stop doing that or follow the damn rules. I don't care about any of the emotional aspects. I don't care that your kid has a wart on his toe. I don't give a damn about any of that. And please do not insult my intelligence with all the BS excuses as to why you can't do it. You don't want to, you're choosing not to, and there are people that don't have your best interests at heart, by the way, that are egging you on. The rules are the rules. If you choose not to follow them, then the enforcement is supposed to follow. That's logical.
All right, it's time for a break. Let's take care of that. We will delve into this further, and if you've got an opinion, we'll put the phone number up for you when we return with Exiles TV. Ba-boom.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, B.R.P.D and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey, we're back. It is Exiles TV. So glad to have you with us. Now, if you want to get in on the conversation, there's the phone number right there, 225-831-1029. Of course, the governor and the state cannot afford to have a wholesale number of businesses say, screw you and screw your order, we're opening up for business, because they can't shut down everybody.
Well, theoretically they could. But, you know, for example, the Louisiana Restaurant Association, which wants more than anything else to keep restaurants open and making money, has their own medical experts, their own legal experts, and they have examined it from a point of view of saying, if there is a way that we can do this and we can prove it, then we will. And they have said the order is valid, the sanitation aspect of it is valid, it is a good idea, and our members will comply. Yeah, here's the whole thing. As I've told you many times before, I am a big believer in context. Where is your opinion coming from? What informs your opinion? And years and years and years of doing talk radio, you know, showed me that a lot of people, they get all fired up, and other people who don't have their best interests at heart encourage them to be all fired up, and they have absolutely no context for their opinions. You know, it's kind of like the guy we had on our radio show that said all cancers originate in dental cavities, remember? And this guy, I asked...
There is growing support for that theory, but go ahead and finish your story,
Yeah.
because that's the important part.
Yeah, the important part is this guy was not medically trained at all. He actually said that all the giant cancer centers like Mayo and Sloan Kettering and MD Anderson don't know what they're doing.
That's where you said, well, what about the Mayo Clinic and MD Anderson? How are they? He said, they don't know anything about cancer.
And the guy was a mechanical engineer.
Who lost his wife to cancer.
Yeah.
So it was really for him all about the feels.
Well, his context was so far out in left field that it was completely invalid.
I'm going to push the button here. Let's talk to, we got a phone call. That's HB out in Livingston Parish. How are you, sir?
How y'all doing this morning?
Good.
Very well.
What's on your mind?
You remember last week we were talking about another topic, and I mentioned that people in general today don't want any type of authority to tell them what to do, no matter where it comes from.
I remember that conversation, yes.
This is the point I'm trying to bring up this morning. I wanted to bring it up with the sergeant on this same thing in connection with law enforcement work. But the bottom line on the pandemic or this disease we've got going around, two facts are known. It's worldwide, and number two, it's highly contagious. And the regulations that they have in place right now are really not that hard to do, even for a person my age. But the bottom line is this: if they just did comply with it, we may not be as bad off as we are today. East Baton Rouge Parish is adjoining to us with Livingston Parish. Livingston Parish is in the thousands right now. They're the low 1,000, but yet we're in the top 1/3 of the 64 parishes. East Baton Rouge is highly contagious with 3 times that amount. If we just did what we're asked to do, it's not that hard. And that's basically the comment. People don't want to do what they're told to do for the safety and welfare of all concerned. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, HB. Appreciate your being with us. And again, you know, there's a factor there, and the human factor in all of this is somebody told this nice lady, you stand up for your rights. I heard Jeff Landry say that this isn't constitutional. You know, you stand up, you know, for what you believe. There's somebody egging her on. I mean, she probably makes very good barbecue. But
I've heard it's terrific barbecue.
But I don't think I want her to look at my test results and tell me whether or not, I'm contagious.
You invoke the Attorney General. It's no secret the Attorney General would like to be the governor someday.
Yep.
And the way you get to be the governor of a state is you start sowing the seeds of dissent by disagreeing a lot with the current governor. Knowing that, he's in his second term, which means he doesn't get to run again.
He's term limited, yeah.
We have a tendency to go from Democratic governor for 2 terms, then we go to a Republican governor for 2 terms, then we swear to God we'll never do another Republican governor as long as we live, and we go back to a Democratic governor for 2 terms. So Jeff Landry telling me I shouldn't worry about it is not. I'm not going to go, hey, the AG says I don't have to wear no damn mask. I don't know. I don't want to see this woman get shut down because it's a small business. I think it sends a horrible message.
Well, I don't think there's any danger of that right now.
One business right now saying, to hell with it, we're not going to close our doors, we're going to do what we want to do, is hardly risking a statewide, epidemic or a statewide crisis.
But that is...
If I were him, I'd let the clock tick out on this.
That's beside the point. It really is. We often think that there are rules and regulations that never get changed for situations. And I am thinking of, I-45 that goes from from Lafayette up to Shreveport? Is that what it is? I-45? I-49.
I-49.
And
75 miles an hour.
Yeah. But originally, they had it at 65 miles an hour because they said it was so boring and all that it would be dangerous to people. After engineering studies, after traffic studies that proved it wasn't, and that the road was actually engineered for 75 miles an hour, DOTD went back and reversed that regulation. Mm-hmm. However, if someone was doing 75 or 80 miles an hour, and they were the only car that you could see,
they'd still get a speeding ticket.
And they ran past the trooper, they'd still get stopped, and they'd still get a speeding ticket. And so all of this other, I was the only one there, I'm not harming anybody else, that doesn't matter. And that's the problem. People make these arguments, and they throw points together that they can't back up with anything except their own feelings. And so they're never successful in doing anything but getting a whole bunch of crowd around them that don't know S from S anyway and cheering them on.
Well, businesses are used to sometimes not being able to be open, but it's because of things like we've got a flood, we've got a hurricane, we've got no electricity. Even if we had electricity, the pipes are backed up. These are things that we understand are going to force us to close our doors. I don't think that a little thing like, my 5 people on my staff not wearing a mask is going to create a great enough health crisis that we need to single these guys out and make an example of them.
But then you could take that to everybody else, and before you know it, everybody else is saying, well, my 4 don't matter.
That hasn't
my
happened.
3 don't matter.
That was the first argument. Oh, if we let her stay open, then everybody's going to start just opening their doors and saying, screw the governor. That hasn't happened.
No, but you can see how allowing that as a legal argument would certainly open the door for that.
You set a dangerous precedent? Well, that's the thing. The question is, what is the level of danger? We're still talking about a disease with less than 1% mortality rate.
But that doesn't matter. The level of danger doesn't matter. What matters, I'm out there waving a gun, and I only got 1 bullet in this gun. I want you to know that I only got 1 bullet in this gun. Is Gino going to sit there when I pointed at him and not put 3 in my chest because there's only 1 in the gun? Thing is, you have to do it logically, and you have to do it universally. And by the way, the universal part is where I have a problem. The governor is not doing it universally.
Boom. And that's what's causing some business owners go, he's obviously playing favorites.
Or he's afraid to enforce his own rule.
The damn gambling casinos are wide open. Have you seen the photos from one of the gambling casinos here in Baton Rouge? People lined up 4 abreast and 15 deep to do the
buffet,
which is adjacent to the gaming floor. Nobody's wearing masks. The servers are all wearing masks, of course. But nobody's saying social distancing. Nobody's saying wear a mask.
But again,
now, and that's another thing people have complained about, the ridiculousness of, to walk in the door, you better have a mask on. You have to wear that mask for the 25 feet we're going to walk you to sit at your table. And once you sit down, you can take the mask off.
Yep.
Because suddenly, because your ass is at a bench, you're no longer a danger.
Well, no, you're not walking within a few feet of other people as you're passing to your bench where you could sneeze.
What about the people sitting across the table from you? You could infect them.
Well, but they are with you. They're part of your family cohort. You've all agreed to that.
Yeah.
The thing is, there is no argument. The woman started out with 3 of my employees don't like wearing masks because it's hot, they're uncomfortable. You know what? She could have assigned them to other duties or given them more breaks, getting some people down there.
Where they're
when it
not
was time,
serving?
they could go stand outside until they had orders. But somebody told her, you need to make an issue out of this. Because in Watson, we don't put up with this crap. I'm serious. I'm serious. There's somebody egging her on.
She might have got that all by herself. You never know. She might go to church with Reverend Spell.
My point.
The thing is, there are always going to be those of us who don't trust the government to do what's best for us.
But it doesn't matter. I don't trust the government half the time, but it doesn't matter.
All right.
If the 2 numbers on that sign are 65, that's the limit, whether I like it or not.
Hold that thought for one moment. We're going to do another commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of Exiles TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bugg Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
So let's talk about a little bit more as Exiles returns. Me and Bill are kind of having an argument here, but I'm sorry if I'm in support of not the policy but the feels. But people are, they're okay. There are bar owners that may never be able to reopen their doors because it's been too long and their business has been shattered.
Mm-hmm.
Because the governor said, bars.
Well, there are other businesses that may never reopen either.
But they're picking
retail stores.
They're picking and choosing the winners and the losers here. And as long as, and to me, that was a very unwise position. The fact that go to some gambling casinos, we've got 3 of them here in Baton Rouge. Take a look at the lack of social distancing, the lack of masks, the lack of everything else that everybody else has to comply with. And why is that? Because they are huge sources of tax revenue.
Now, I will tell you, after we talked about this last, I did go to one and look. And they were not operating the buffet at the time, so I couldn't see that. But everybody was required to wear a mask, both patrons and employees. Everybody had their temperature taken, and they had machines turned off, so they had 6 feet of space, and where they couldn't turn them off, they had actually chair to above the level of the machine, plexiglass between them, so that you had a barrier. So I thought that they were meeting their mandate. And they obviously have to, because Louisiana State Police Gaming Division enforces their mandate. Now, they weren't operating their buffet, so I couldn't tell.
See, to me, a small eatery where, not so long ago, we did a family dinner at one of the nicer restaurants in town, Fleming's. And we had they do a team thing. They do a 2-waiter team at your table. And these 2 people, young man and young woman, they were both absolutely delightful. They're great service. And they practiced social distancing, and they would do things that you don't normally do, like they would hold the beverage out for you on a tray and let you take the beverage off the tray.
How elegant.
Rather than walk and put it in front of you. And they tried to maintain as much distance. It was highly unlikely that none of them ever got closer than 4 feet away from me. Ever. Highly unlikely that their spittle was going to get on me and give me COVID-19. I would have loved to have seen their faces. They both seemed like beautiful young people. And my problem with the mask thing is it's depersonalizing us all. Everybody's a pair of eyes peeking at you from behind a mask. The other day in the news, there was a guy who walked into a Rouse's, helped himself to about $400 worth of meat, including snow crab legs. I mean, he just loaded up the basket full of prime cuts, snow crab legs.
Ran right out.
And out the door he went. And somebody was chasing him out the door with the cell phone, and he actually turned around and looked right at it. Boom! What a great image. Too bad he had a mask on. It's like the things that 9 months ago, if I would have walked into Walmart with a ball cap, a pair of sunglasses, and a mask covering my nose, the sheriff's department would have been tackling me to the ground. But now it's like, good boy.
But that's not,
good boy.
This is not 9 months ago.
I know, but are we in as much danger as they want us to believe we are?
Well, look at the numbers.
See, because the state doesn't publish all the numbers. The state publishes, this is how many's infected. This is how many are on respirators. This is how many have died. Because people will die. Wear your mask.
Well, and are those in error? Are those
tell us
in
how
error?
many. I think it would be useful for LDH to tell us how many people have gotten over this thing, of all the people that have gotten sick. How many people of all you've tested have actually gotten sick?
Well, that's fine.
How many people have gotten over it? Then, like other states do, let's do a breakdown of the age.
But that's also
because when you get up, it's like the majority of them were over 85. It's your time is up anyway.
All right, so the circling the drain argument. None of this has anything to do with the price of coffee, however.
I think we're being dealt with dishonestly.
No, I think we're being dealt with too honestly, and it makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
See, and like L.G. McKneely, our guest last hour, said, you don't take it seriously until it's somebody you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far for me, it's been 4 people I know have gotten COVID-19. 4 people I know have gotten COVID-19. The oldest of them, 68 years of age. She's better. She's doing fine.
Well, that's a good
I'm not
thing.
saying don't take the disease seriously. I'm saying if you're not in one of the comorbidity groups, chances are you're not going to be in any danger of death.
Here's the thing that, oddly enough, I agree with. And this is way before COVID, I believe in triage. I have never believed that death is the enemy. I have always believed that quality of life is the enemy. And I have a lot of legitimate perspective on this, having worked in the busiest emergency room in the state of Illinois for 3 years, having had close family members go through horrible cancers that took their lives, having been under the knife myself. And what I do agree with is that eventually we are going to have to say, as a matter of science, that we are going to have to let the chips fall where they may, or there will be no quality of life to go back to. Now, I can promise you, there is nobody of any political party that is in a position to impact judgment that will say something like that, because we've become such a namby-pamby, panty-waisted, pussy society that wants grandma, who only burps twice an hour and sits with a drool cup, we want her to live 150 more years because she's grandma. And that is the scientific pant load that we are dealing with. I believe in triage. I believe in putting your resources to where they were going to have the most impact in the quickest fashion, and everything else goes and sits in the corner until it's over. And this is a scientific reality that more and more each day it appears to me that we are going to have to face. And you know, they're like, people say, but it's not your grandma, which is the dumbest argument. Is, what if it was your kid? What if it was your... That shows how feeble-minded and namby-pamby and participation trophy you have become as a society if that is your argument. Because it is meaningless in terms of long-term quality of life survival. It is meaningless. You know, and there are other countries that do this, and their people are smart enough to realize, you know what? You don't give the 5-pack a smoker a day, cigarettes a day smoker, a lung transplant. You don't give the chronic alcoholic a liver transplant. You don't give anybody over the age of 65 any kind of transplant of a major organ, because they ain't going to be using them long. Here, we run around and we, oh, Aunt Myrtle, who's been wetting herself for the last 25 years, and we're spending $40,000 a year in a nursing home. We've got to protect her and make sure she doesn't get COVID because she might die. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Eventually,
we're going to have to triage this.
Well, some of the other arguments that have been made about this whole COVID thing is why this disease and not any other? Why did we go to mass quarantine? The way we deal with disease up until this point has been you identify the ill, you quarantine the ill, and the not ill continue about their lives. We decided we were going to quarantine everybody. Why? Okay, why did we do that? Why did we voluntarily shut down the economy of the most prosperous nation on the planet on the say-so of a few doctors who didn't know their ass from their elbow?
Well, and every other country did the same thing because it is a brand new disease and we don't know.
Every other country didn't do the same thing. Other countries we know practice standard quarantine isolation, and they're now out of the woods with this thing.
Well, smaller countries can do that. Big countries like ours, and
I agree with
you
that
know,
because
we can't do that.
Holland, for instance, is a country with a population the size
Yeah.
of Mississippi.
Yeah, and their death rate is a little higher, but it doesn't matter because of how it occurred and when it occurred. But you know, all of that. If there is another novel virus that comes along next January, I think we will do it that way. But you have to, on the front end, you have to have a plan saying, we don't want our hospitals to get overwhelmed, which is a legitimate thing. So what we will do is we're going to triage. You know what? If you're 67 and you weigh 470 pounds, you ain't getting a ventilator. You're not even going to get a lollipop.
We'll make you as comfortable as possible.
No, don't even do that. Let's punish them. Let's kick them.
No.
But the thing is, they're simpering, whining, ridiculously self-centered, and insidious relatives will not allow you to do that. You've got to say, Papa. No, I don't. Because there is a greater good here that you've been raised to be selfish and never give a rat's butt about. And we all know these people. We know who they are. They are insidious. They are to the point of almost being incestuous. And reality left them somewhere in their early years when it comes to this kind of crap.
What about the argument that we should continue these extraordinary measures until there is a vaccine? We have had flu vaccine for how many decades?
Yeah.
And we still have 100,000 or more people die of the flu in the United States.
Well,
because the flu vaccine is not a panacea. It's not a cure.
We did not plan to triage because we didn't know coronavirus was going to come. It's new. It's novel. Okay? But we've never put a plan like other countries, like Great Britain, have. You know, again, we go back to here's the deal. If we have an epidemic and it particularly hits hard those in their 60s who are obese or who smoke or who have diabetes and all that, they go further down the triage level because we have to make sure that the person who is still earning a living, running their business, and paying taxes, if they need a bed, they get one. And you say, but this is real. This is very, very real. And no soldier left behind sounds great, doesn't it? Don't you love it when you hear somebody that's got, eagles on their lapels say that? What happens in the field is Kevin got hit around around in the chest, and he's got a sucking chest wound. And I've got Marty who got hit in the shoulder, and I can tie off his bleeder so he won't bleed to death. And so-and-so got hit in the head, and you know what?
Sucking chest wound gets to stay behind.
No, the head wound gets to stay behind because he ain't going to make it. He might get on the helicopter. He might make it to the hospital. But there's nothing left inside that skull. I tie off the bleeding first, and then I see if I've got time to take care of you. Nobody left behind. Bull. And until we have a medical system that anticipates that there are going to be tragic medical events that come down the pike, and I don't know how I can say this other than the fact that the enemy isn't death. I know all of you think it is. I know all of you think every life is precious. And that's a self-defense mechanism for you because you know good and damn well it isn't. But until we, you know what? Everybody ought to go to a personal injury case or a death case, a lawsuit of a 4-year-old, and watch how low the damages are. And everybody goes, "Oh, that baby died because they were negligent. The damages are only $50,000." Because you know what? No education yet, no value to society, no earning a living, no mortgage they're paying. And that is the best way to look at the way your medical system should triage in a case like this. But it'll never happen because we have too many people that want to save papa.
So much as we can save one life.
Oh yeah, just save one life.
Let's take a quick
And that's a lot of happy horse poop.
I know. We got to take care of some commercial business. So we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. This is Exiles TV.
Belello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Belello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, B.R.P.D and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Hey, real quickly, change the subject.
Let's.
2 more tropical waves in the Atlantic. Good God. I think we're already up to the L's on named storms. But we've got Invest 97, which is sitting like off of Colombia, Venezuela area. Go right through the Aruba area. That could make it into the Gulf. And then you got Invest 98 that looks like, gee, here's a surprise. It looks like it's going to gather itself and hit Haiti and Puerto Rico and then Cuba. And then after that...
You know where they like to go after Haiti, Puerto Rico, and Cuba?
And
they
then,
like to go into the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, they're not forecasting anything beyond that at this point.
Well, we have been fortunate that some of these storms have, there have been other situations meteorologically that have kind of tore them up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll be that lucky this season.
Now, the one they're calling 97L, that's the one that, is just off Colombia
Yeah, I'm
and
going to take a
Venezuela.
look at it right now.
60% chances of it developing into a tropical storm over the next 5 days on that one. The other one has a 90% chance of developing in the next 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, that would be L, that would be M.
Let's see, we already did the K storm. This would be L. This would
No,
be...
we already got one named L, but it's out in the Atlantic. It got named, and it's gone away.
Okay. Are you sure?
Well, somebody was telling me that yesterday evening, and I can't find out quickly enough. I'll tell you what, let's take a little break here.
Okay.
And we'll take a look at what names are coming up in the tropical roulette, shall we?
Tropical roulette.
A tropical punch, as it were. Having cut up about...
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Hey, we're back. It's Exiles TV. Bill Profito over there and Kevin over here. By the way, don't forget we have a 12-hour repeat at 10 p.m. tonight. This program will repeat. It also will have a re-showing on the weekend. And if you want, if you're more the on-demand type, just go to YouTube and look for Pelican Broadcasting on YouTube, and you'll find this and all of the other Exiles TV shows, plus the Clarence Bug Show and Rocket Right Radio and so many other great programs here on Pelican Broadcasting.
Indeed. All right, so we got the poop now.
We got the poop.
We got the poop on the names. The one sitting over Venezuela will be Laura.
Yep. And if the next one behind it reaches a name storm strength, it will be Marco Polo.
Yeah, the National Hurricane Center is kind of proud of that other one, saying 90% probability it's going to develop into a tropical storm in the next 5 days. They sound a little proud of that one.
Yeah. They get a little too enthused sometimes. You ever notice how sometimes the TV meteorologists get a little too into it. They're like, you don't sound so happy that we have one. It's like, wow, something for me to cover. More screen time.
The only one who doesn't do that is Jay.
No, Jay understands. Jay Grimes, WFB Channel 9.
It was so funny last week when we were having those flash thunderstorms. Jay was on, I think he was on Wednesday, and we had one of those. And he was looking at the forecast for Thursday and said, Storm Prediction Center says that, will be a 30% chance of a dangerous thunderstorm. He said, I think I would dial that one back a little bit. He said, I think that's a little too high a percentage. And as it turns out, he was right.
He's right more often than he is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And, Jay used to be a regular fixture on our radio show, and we miss those visits. But he is always one of the most... There are other great meteorologists in the capital city television market. Steve Caparata, Jesse Gunkel,
Josh Eachus.
Josh Eachus. There are several of them, but I've always looked at Jay Grimes more as the voice of reason. I mean, he just gives you what you need to know. He doesn't get overly enthusiastic about it. I think Jay would love to be able to tell you night after night after night, the weather's all clear, it's going to be great. I think that's what he'd love to be able to tell you. But when there's bad news, he just hits you with the bad news. He doesn't blow it out of proportion or sound like he's happy as a clam that it's coming. Or
now, one of the things that I always notice is when we know we're going to have a hurricane impact in Louisiana somewhere, and they fire up the command center, okay, at GOSEP, who is it they bring in to do the briefing that you see in the front page newspaper picture? Who is it that's standing in front of the map every single time?
Why, that's Jay Grimes.
Yeah, they don't have a rotation system. We got to be fair to everybody. No, it's Jay.
What's funny is that started when Jay was the state climatologist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have another state climatologist, great guy, very learned man, Barry Keim.
Mm-hmm.
But they continue to go to Jay for this. Not any reflection on Barry Keim, in my opinion, but they continue to go to Jay, I think, just because they know what to expect from Jay, and they know that Jay is going to be the straight dope.
Well, and they also know that Jay has the confidence of a great deal of the public, and that's important when you're in emergency operations and you're putting information out to people. They're judging not only the message, but they're judging the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think our buddy Jay has got all that going for him. I guess they won't let him come on our TV show, huh?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't talked to him in a long, long time, or at least I haven't. I don't know if he's allowed to do media.
Hey, in the back, can we do that black screen and disguise the voice thing? Can we do that? They're saying no, we can't.
We put him in just a silhouette.
Yeah,
with his voice sounding like this.
His voice was like that. Well, I guess we'll just have to do without. These contracts can be so sticky. Anyway, hey, it is time for us to go. Don't forget, Morning Exiles podcast tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. from La Divina Italian Cafe. Best breakfast in town,
Absolutely.
by the way.
And we hope you'll join us for that. That'll be on Facebook Live. If you go to Facebook, search for The Morning Exiles page, and that's where you'll find our podcast at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, come on out and see us. Come have a cup of coffee with us. And, of course, we'll be right back here Thursday at 10 a.m. Until then, stay well.
God bless.
Bye-bye.